Oh shit.
What's up, everyone? We're back. Specialists in nothing. Serial killers. Joe,
How we
Danny,
doing?
you ready?
Up.
Let's get into
ready.
it. Let's get into it.
I mean, we left off. You had something to say, so I don't know if you remember?
I want you to Frankopedia serial killers because in a previous episode we got all a little off track and we started to merge specific
did the
things.
Frankopedia, man.
That's what I'm saying. I don't mind if Frankopedia is at the beginning or in the middle or whatever.
I prefer in the beginning, so I understand what we're talking about.
We change it up for the people sometimes. Keep them on their toes. All right, Frankopedia time.
Well, because this is what it was. We thought serial killers was specifically just 3 killings.
Yeah. Okay.
But
that's true. We did figure that out.
Within recent research, we've now developed more of a definition for a serial killer opposed to just a mass murderer or.
We developed more of a Frankopedia. Okay. We don't call it the D word around here. Okay. We don't use that word.
Definition. What is that?
Yeah. What is a definition?
What is that?
Nobody uses definitions anymore. They all want to hear about Frankopedias.
It's Frankenation.
Tell them about Frankopedia. Look, man, I was with Webster for a minute. Like I grew up with him, and now you want to switch it up?
I mean, Webster's the OG. Don't get me wrong, but like times are changing. We gotta move on,
bro. I used to love going to Webster Hall, man. That's what you.
I love what you did there. That was great. All right, so
hit me with the hard 20.
A serial killer is a person who commits a series of murders, often with no apparent motive and typically following a characteristic, predictable behavior pattern. But a serial killer is typically also a person with three or more people that they've murdered, but usually usually service an abnormal psychological gratification. The murders take place with more or over more than a month. So it's a significant period of timeline. So basically a serial killer, because there's people that are like mass murderers and that, where like they could kill 4 people in one night in some violent act, and they're not a serial killer, but a serial killer plans out each murder and has a significant timeline where it's in between. And they usually have the murders attempted in like a similar fashion with like a ritual or something like that, which is where the behavior patterns and stuff like that, where we like talked about last time, came up.
So now serial killers, is it more of a psychological issue or like a mental illness, or is it just a desire to want to like be known and try to get yourself out there?
All of them.
It depends on the serial killer.
Okay.
So not even. I think they all have those traits, man.
No, because Dexter didn't have that.
Yeah.
I know he's a
bro. We're talking about real serial killers.
But that's
today,
something
Frank.
that still is that's a real mental problem that serial killers have. So like that's something that even though they may not turn it into like a lifestyle like he did, whereas they just worry about the killing side and like whatever.
No, people did turn it into lifestyles, man.
Okay, so then so it's even more of a fact to where people are like that. So that's what I'm saying. To me, it depends on the person. Some people do it as like exactly like it's a personal gratification, right? But some people also, there's different types of gratification. So like someone can be organized and like whatever, or someone could be more wild and spur of the moment,
young and wild and free.
But I forgot.
What do you mean, like a random act of killing opposed to like something that's planned out?
Yeah, like you could be a serial killer and still have a random act of killing, but if it was like months apart, like you were just itching to have a kill and found someone and like started to stalk them or whatever, and then you know what I mean, but it was spur of the moment in that day, you know what I mean, or whatever. That could still
like you
be
wake
a
up on
killer.
Tuesday, it's like 9:04 and you're like, God damn it, I wet the bed, I'm gonna go kill somebody.
No, but I'm just saying, like I think that going to real, like somebody could wake up at 9 a.m, be going to the deli and see someone that like would piss them off, and then follow that person and then go kill them.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Isn't that all serial killings? Not for nothing?
Not necessarily.
No, because some serial killers plan stuff out for like weeks or months at a time. And like, really plan that shit, stalk the person, watch them, whatever, and then
but they want to kill, so it's not like they're planning on it, but like they know they're
like
gonna do it.
He was killing people that worked for him. You know what I mean?
Right, but he wasn't. He
Who?
was just finding Ted Bundy. He said.
Or no, not
Oh.
Ted Bundy. I'm sorry, Gacy. I meant Gacy. John
Gacy,
the clown.
yes. Okay.
Gacy was killing the
You're a
kids that
clown.
worked for him and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He was working
Right,
with
but he
them for
didn't
months at a
plan
time.
it. I'm sure he just said, "Oh, this kid, I would like to kill this kid," and when the kid came, and then he found the right time, and then killed the child. It's not like he said, "Oh, you know what? Let me go hire a child because I want to kill a child."
Well, see, I always thought of it as like he was like, listen, they're working with him, or whatever, and he was doing gay stuff with them, and he didn't want his wife to find out from like the real story. So I figured like after he was doing stuff with them, he always planned on killing them because after he killed every victim, he put them in his floorboards of his basement to like dispose of the body and like
3 counts of murder and 30 bodies buried in a 4-foot crawl space under his home.
Yeah, with like lime or something to like get rid of dissolve the bodies and stuff. So like for me, someone like that, he was like hiding something and planning it out. Like they worked with him. He was doing this for like a couple months and then got rid of them and then went on to the next one. So like that doesn't have to be something in spur of the moment. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He also had counts for rape, torture, and lethal injection. Now I'm going to come back to lethal injection later because I want to get into serial killers before I ask you guys a question. So who, in your opinion, I mean, so now here, this gets a little crazy, but it's like,
can't help it.
what are you laughing at?
He just can't.
help it.
Can't help it, dude.
No, you're right. You make a valid point.
I don't get it. Where'd that come from?
Because I read lethal injection. I wanted to ask you, but I want to get more on the topic. It's like, do you think
We'll get more on the topic. We could come back to it, whatever. But
I'm sorry, Professor.
Ask us.
you guys, man? You know I had this OCD shit.
Danny, what makes a serial killer?
Fuck you.
No, I'm asking to you. What makes a serial
For
killer?
real though, yeah.
Not like the definition of 3 kills, whatever. What makes a serial killer to you?
I think a serial killer to me is someone who's like off their knocker and they're going out on like continuous days,
So psychologically
separate
unstable.
occasions.
Wrong
Yeah,
answer.
in my opinion.
Okay.
Why
No,
are you
there's no wrong
nasty,
answer. This is
you
an
guys?
opinion. Joe, what's your opinion?
No, true.
Dude,
I knew I
I'm
should have
joking.
shut my mouth and just be quiet and sat
I don't know, bro. A serial killer could be anybody, man. I mean, most of the listen from. I'm no professional, but like the documentaries and shit are out
I
there,
hope
and they're pretty legit. And dude, like most of these serial killers, bro, when you watch the shit, it's like have these like abusive past, and like they don't have, they don't come from like completed families, and it's just they're always abused and shit. So I just think it's somebody that's been through like
You think it just
trauma,
gets
some
passed
sort of
down and passed
trauma.
down?
That's a good thought.
That definitely
Not that
triggers
it,
for
not that
sure.
it gets passed down, because it's not to say the guy.
Yeah.
It's not to say like, oh, my dad was a serial killer, and now
No,
I'm a
but
serial,
like it's taught.
my
almost, like
dad would
violence is taught.
abuse me, right? Like violence. It's just that
Violence
inner
is
hate.
taught. So if it's what's breeded
Right,
through
if
you
it's-
through your whole childhood and the only thing you've
They
seen,
they
then at some
say
point, yeah.
they say that serial killers that have had like abusive past from like their mom are always the
Yeah,
people that will
absolutely.
attack women during like
Mhm.
mostly prostitutes and shit.
Well, see, and I think
You
it's a
know?
lot of a combination of the two of what you guys said. So, like, and I'm glad I asked that because I think it's a combination of the psychological, mental
definitely,
things
man.
with getting abused and this and that and seeing violence for so
Yeah.
long and this and that. I think it's a big combination of both of those that breed some of the worst serial killers.
Yeah.
So this situation or the environment they're in can also trigger that 100%.
Even though
Like-
it wasn't real, look at like Michael Myers.
Facts. Well,
You know what I mean? They
not
had him in
really.
a
What
they had him
trauma was
chained
he
up
in?
in a closet. Are you kidding me? In
Michael
the one episode,
Myers?
Michael Myers. In the one thing they show like the kitchen,
Serial
they show his
killer,
house.
Halloween.
Yes, when they show the one movie where it's like the doctor and they show like the whole beginning stuff. They
yeah,
show
he's the
his
kid,
house.
What movie
and he
is
They
that?
show
kills
his
the
house and him as a
fucking-
kid.
What
and-
movie is that?
What?
It's one of the newer ones.
The
Isn't
Rob
it?
Zombie
but
one?
They show him. I don't know if it was the Rob Zombie one, but it's one of the newer ones. But they show him like as a kid and like this and that, and not the one that I'm talking about where they show him in the actual mental asylum. I'm talking about like
That's
there's
the
like
Rob Zombie
or
one.
maybe it is that one, but it shows
No,
like a
bro.
flashback of him in his house as a kid when he's with his family, like when they're alive and like this and that. And they lock him in a closet in the like a high chair with chains and like this
Which
and that,
one is
and he was like treated badly. And like that's what I'm talking about. Like so in that version,
I
something
don't
like
remember seeing
that.
it in any Halloween movie.
I'm telling you.
You
But-
gotta, I don't know, bro. You've been wrong about a lot of shit lately.
Why? Because I was wrong about the one Exorcist quote?
No, because you challenged me to a fight August 15th, and like that was a bad choice.
Oh my god.
Hashtag ad.
Can't wait to finish that one. But anyway, so you get what I'm saying though. You know what I mean? Like it's that
It's
definitely
definitely brought up from traumas. Now,
absolutely.
I don't think I know what you're talking about for this specific Halloween, but there's the Rob Zombie one where it shows him in like high school or junior high school, getting bullied at school, getting slapped on by his stepdad at home, and he like winds up killing a cat, and then he just he goes fucking crazy, kills the dad, ties him up with duct tape, kills
That's
his,
the one.
All that. Wakes up and slits his throat. Yeah, you're right. I remember that one too.
So is that a different one or is that the same one?
Same one.
I don't know if that was the same one, and it just shows a flashback when he was younger and stuff, or if it was like one of the older ones. But I remember that scene. But either way, that's another version too. Same thing, like exact. But basically, my point is basically exactly what we were talking about. I was just trying to use a movie as a reference.
Going through traumas that become that makes somebody serial killer. So you brought,
but at the same time, also being someone that could be like an outsider or not someone.
Right, there's really
like it doesn't necessarily need to be a mental disorder, like psychologically. It could be someone that has like a. I don't want to say like just no friends, but like, you know what I mean? Like someone that's like awkward, socially awkward or something like that. Exactly. Yeah. That's just like, you know what I mean? A different person that then got a lot of trauma and stuff like that, because on top of getting the trauma, they felt lonely or they felt something like this. I don't think it necessarily always has to be psychological, but I think a lot of the, like I said, a lot of the bigger serial killers was psychologically, because a lot of people that are psychologically unstable are like certain savants in some ways, where like they could be geniuses in a certain way. So like if it's like someone that's a serial killer and it's something they're thriving on, something they're so interested in, and they're mentally unstable, it could be something that they're really good at. So I feel like there's some people that are like that, but then like on the drama side of like whatever, it could also be someone that was also like, you know, a bit of an outsider, a little bit different.
Their trauma. So you have an example of that? I was going to bring up examples. Well, I was going to bring up like Jeffrey Dahmer and Arlene Wuornos, because what you were saying before about the traumas with like Arlene Wuornos, would you say before? You know about her, right? She was a hooker who just got abused, raped.
Oh, the one from Monster? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know her real name. Yeah, no, that was. Oh, my God. So
she's a prostitute. She killed the men in Florida because they would they would rape her and shit. Well, I mean, she was a hooker, but
she got raped one time. So what happened is she got into a car with someone to like hook up and like this, not whatever. And I forget what happened, but like in the movie anyway, she decides that she doesn't want to do it or whatever, and he ends up forcing himself on her to rape her. I don't know if that's actually what happened in real life.
Okay.
But basically, she was raped in real life while she was a prostitute and whatever, and she then started using her prostitution as a form to kill people, take their money, take their cars, take their whatever. And to her, most of the guys that were coming to her or whatever were like married men or stuff like this. And so to her, they deserved it because they were like cheating on their wives or a bad person or this, that.
Usually it's the guy.
She would get a flashback to think, or she would get a flashback to think of whatever, and that it was a bad person, and she would do it. So yeah, honestly, that's a serial killer that I don't necessarily think deserved the death penalty.
Bro, lethal injection again.
See, there's certain serial killers that I do think. I'm not saying the death penalty shouldn't be a thing. I'm not saying that, because I do actually think it should be a thing for certain vicious fucking people out there that they let out back into the world after so many years.
Yep.
But
really, Frank,
for her, yeah, I do. But for her specifically, I don't think so. I think she was someone that needed mental help. I think she needed psychology or like therapy or whatever, because she was traumatized. She was raped. She wouldn't have done any of those things if she wasn't raped and then didn't have any help after getting raped.
You know what I mean? So,
no, but I'm saying like if she would have, after she got raped, had like a therapist or a doctor or this and that, and people help her, you think she would have turned into the person that she was and ended up committing all those murders and stuff? No, she was dealing with that mentally, and then going back into the same environment after that traumatizing event happened. That's like I'm trying to think of the show that this just happened in, but in The Sopranos. When I was watching The Sopranos, the doctor, she's going in the stairwell from her car.
Oh, okay.
And she gets raped in the stairwell.
You don't want to mess Danny up.
Season 6, episode 10.
No, when she's going early in the show, when she's going in the season, and then she's in the stairwell,
she's in the parking lot. Yes,
and she gets raped.
But yes, okay.
No, but I'm saying whatever. And then when
she
goes
alert.
back to when she goes back to work, The Sopranos is like 20 years old, dude. Nobody
doesn't matter, bro. I'm running through it for the first time in full.
Anyway. So that is a perfect example. Like she went right back to work and had to deal with all that mental stuff of the anxiety going back in the same stairwell and this, that. So for her, as a prostitute, someone poor, not getting doctors, not getting help, not getting anything like that, and then going back right into prostitution, bro, that would fuck anybody up. She didn't deserve to get lethal injection or whatever. She deserved mental help.
That's true.
I mean, I'm not saying they deserve to let her out on the street and out of prison, but she should have stayed in prison and gotten mental help. And you know what I mean? That's what I'm not saying she deserved to just be out on the street.
Frank, I agree with you on that. She could definitely use a psychiatrist, like the Joker.
I mean, he's a fictional character, but
could be real, could be anyone.
So how about this though? I got one. Shoot. What's your personal favorite real serial killer? Like someone that, like, when you heard the story or whatever, just was so interesting to you.
Danny?
I don't know. I would probably say Son of Sam.
Really?
Yeah. Son of Sam is probably the most interesting one for me. That one or Zodiac, but those are the top two for me. Okay. Yeah, I definitely think because David Berkowitz was like in the Brooklyn and the Bronx area, and you know it was fucking New York, and that's like home for us. You know what I'm saying? So I know that motherfucker was walking the same streets that I've been in, and just happened to randomly be killing people in that area. That's real. That's close to home. That hits home for me. Also, I saw the movie. I mean, I was super unalive, but I've heard stories from friends' parents or friends of my own parents talking about the time when that shit was going down. Like when I was younger, we had parties and shit. They'd be just bullshitting, like, "Oh, remember, you know, the year fucking 77 and this was going on and this and that." And they're just talking about music and disco and they're bullshitting, having fun. But then someone's like, "Oh my god, yeah, and so David Berkowitz," and brings it up, and it's just because I've heard it around, I guess, in previous conversations with my family and at parties and shit. That's probably, I guess, why it hits home for me. And I think the Zodiac is just pretty cool because he fucking sent messages to the FBI in California.
He was like taunting while he See, I like killers that like want attention like that and stuff like that. Like for me,
they do it for you think they do it for the fame?
Oh, absolutely. Some of them do. Absolutely. Some of them actually want to be famous and want their name out there.
But now, do they want their name out there because they're not caught or because they want to get caught?
Both.
Well, what's more of their motivation?
Depends on the person, I guess, because I mean, there are some out there that want to get caught, want to tell their story to the news, want to be heard. But then there's others that just want the fame, but want to still be out there living their life. Like someone like Pablo Escobar was a serial killer. He was a drug dealer. He was a murderer. He was whatever. But he killed plenty of people over plenty of spans of time, whether it was from rage or whatever, over long periods of time. And didn't want to ever get caught. Always wanted to be out there. But then you have someone like the name I was going to bring up, my like most, I don't want to say inspired killer or most interested killer. Who's most interested to me is who's the one that had the cult? I can't think of his name. That had everybody following him.
Jim Jones?
No. He had like the
you should have done.
I want to say it was not Jeffrey Dahmer, but he had the cult that followed him, and
I know who you're talking about.
Charles Manson.
Yes. There we go.
Sorry, I couldn't think of his name. But Charles Manson was someone that like was interesting to me because dude, like he didn't even he had people doing his stuff for him, followers and like this and that. He was like making other people's minds think that they were doing something good and like. That's some crazy shit to me because again, that's something that like really just is just scary. Like not that it hits home, but like it's just
that's some shit though. It's very interesting. There's actually a Netflix show. I'll tell you what it is in a minute, actually, but I just saw it maybe a month ago.
On that?
It's America's Book of Secrets, and one of the episodes. I'm sorry. Hold on. Why the fuck is? I put Netflix on and this Kim's Convenience thing comes up.
Yeah, okay.
Bro, that sounded like porn. I swear to God.
I'm done.
Yo, that is. Look,
Danny was caught.
Don't out me on that shit.
She sounded Asian. Can I just say that?
She was Asian. I'm telling you. Listen, go on Netflix. It's Kim's Convenience. It's a thing. It's for real. Anyways.
What about Kim's Convenience?
Yeah.
Fuck. Listen, I swear to God, it wasn't porn. You know, it sounds like
soundbite for this week. Oh my God. Oh. Everyone, we just all heard Danny's porn saved on his other files of his computer.
Man.
She was my first Asian.
Now we gotta label the podcast 18 plus.
Oh.
It's called America's Book of Secrets. You guys go fuck yourself.
It's okay, Danny. It's all right.
Figure it out.
What are you saying?
It's all
I
right.
forgot after I heard the
I've been there. It's okay, pal.
He was saving it for later.
All right, that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. This is special. Thank you.
I'm crying.
Oh, fuck.
Everybody catch your breath.
All right, let's regroup.
Danny, we'll give you a minute to run through your phone now in case you need to
Good.
reference
No, it's
something
over.
again.
No, so wait, what was the show you said again now? I'm sorry, because it was after Charles Manson, you said.
Honestly, after you guys think I'm watching porn while we do podcasts,
Yo,
I'm
you
over it.
can't
Just
even.
whatever you
Totally sounded like.
Bro, you're right. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. It sounded like, yeah, fucking jokes on me. Everybody laugh.
Oh, that was great. No, but so what was the show called again, though, for real?
Motherfucker. All right, it's called America's Book of Secrets. It's on Netflix, and it's called Deadly Cults. It's 42 minutes. It's a small documentary about it. It's
Okay, so it's a documentary. It's not like a fictional show. I thought you were
No,
mentioning
it's
a
real.
show like with seasons.
There's also one about serial killers, which I don't know if you guys watched it or not, but I did. Well, I guess you didn't because I'm telling you about it for the first time now. But serial killers, there's another one like through the 70s United States, over 1,400 serial killers and shit. It's really cool. It's very interesting. Check that out.
I'll check
Yo,
that
man.
out. I'll check that out.
You gotta watch The Night Stalker on Netflix.
The Night
That's
Stalker?
a good serial killer documentary, man. Great.
Honestly, anything serial killers, I'll definitely go check out. That's definitely on my list before The Good Son.
Yeah. And, yo,
Oh man.
Yo, so listen, I watched. No. We're not talking about Danny's freaking
Wait,
porn
what is
right
your
now.
favorite?
What?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's what I was gonna ask. So wait, Joe, you didn't answer that. Who's the one that's most interesting to you?
Me?
Mhm.
No, the other
all
Joe.
So I watched this documentary the other day, right? I got Discovery Plus. Gotta watch that shit. They got so much shit. And I
Discovery
seen this
Plus?
documentary. Yes.
Is that on
Gary-
Disney Plus?
No, Gary Ridgway. I watched
Gary
this
Ridgway?
Oh,
documentary.
that's the one
about
that you were
this guy,
mentioned about, like the
and
second.
I
He's
tried-
the second most.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
Tell me
confessed to
about it.
killing 71 women. They called him the Green River. The Green River Killer. He targeted all sex workers, anywhere from like age 15 to 26, 30 was like, the oldest he would go.
I
He
didn't
was
make the
suspected
cut.
of killing over 90 people. He confessed to 71 of them or some shit like that. And he was like convicted of 49 of them. And he took a plea deal with them to where if he confessed to everything, that they wouldn't give him the death penalty.
Did they?
So he just
in
got
the,
life
in
without
the
parole.
documentary, man, this guy, he literally in detail explains every single murder he did, why he did it, how he did it, what he did with the body after.
See, that's what I'm
And
talking
bro-
about. Some of the serial killers that once they get
And it
caught,
was-
they want to let you know everything.
It was crazy because he did it over like a 10-year period of time. And again, they asked him why he was doing this. And he said, he had abusive parents and a lot of shit with his mom. His mom would beat him. So he fucking hated women. So he would go pick up prostitutes and literally murder them. But like he knew he was going to murder them before. Remember we were talking about like if they plan or they don't plan, like he would say like, I'm going to go kill somebody tonight, go out, search for a prostitute, pick her up. And then within minutes he would kill them in some sick, twisted way.
Would he pay for the sex first and then kill them and take the money back?
No.
He just didn't pay. He was like, you mind?
No,
bitch.
I guess he just didn't
kills
pay.
her?
But dude, it was
Damn.
crazy because he lived like a double life. Like he got married. He was married. He stopped killing
Holy
for like
shit.
2 years. The cops didn't know what
He
the hell
retired?
to do. Yeah, they thought that okay, there was
Well,
like
some
theories like
serial
oh he
killers do do
died
that.
or
Some
yeah he like
serial
completely
killers
stopped.
do that. They'll like stop for like a few years and then they like can't stop, and it's almost like an addiction. Like they
Yeah,
want that itch
right.
again, and then they start back up
So
again.
instead of
there's some FBI
killing
agents that,
a
like, control trails.
prostitute, he was killing prostitutes like 2-3 a week. It went down to like he was killing 1 or 2 a month, and it didn't seem like it fit his pattern. He changed it up a little bit because he didn't want too much attention,
Yeah, 'cause
and
it's
he
all about the
wanted to
behavior
live
pattern.
his. Yeah, man, and just the fact that they interviewed his wife and like his neighbors, nobody would ever expect this guy.
He was
to
a
be
good guy. He let me
savage
borrow
serial
fertilizer.
Yo, but a lot
Dude,
of them
no, like
are
it's
like
scary
that, like,
though.
because they
Yeah,
know
like people.
they know that there's something wrong there. It's like Dexter really is a
It
perfect
made
example
me
in a lot of
think of
situations.
Dexter because I'm
Yeah,
obsessed with that
because
show.
but
And the fact that he lived his second life like that and got away with it for so many years.
But there's a lot of them that like that. So that's something I wanted to bring up
Pretty
earlier.
crazy, man. Pretty
So
crazy.
there's a certain personality disorder that most serial killers have. Not all of them, but most. And
Right.
it's a neuropsychiatric disorder marked by a deficient emotional response. So it's a lack of empathy, poor behavior controls, commonly resulting in persistent antisocial. So like how I said, like an outsider and that. Dexter was that person, but he was someone that realized it, was self-aware, and then knew he had to do things to compensate for that.
Listen,
That's got to be like
although
most of them. You know what I mean? So like if you're
although Dexter is fake, they nailed like
oh,
the
absolutely.
whole
I bet you
like
there was a lot of
character
serial killers
of
out there
being
that
a
was like,
serial
oh my
killer.
God, that's my life. That's me. Like that could relate to it.
Yeah.
I bet you there's at least one serial killer out there in the world that wasn't caught that watched
Yeah.
that show and was like, damn, yeah, they fucking nailed my life. Like, you know what I mean?
No. They're like the
Uh-huh.
girls who watch these documentaries about crime. Like, don't leave your fingerprints there. You should be wearing gloves. You know.
So funny.
Yeah. So I do have a couple other things that like I kind of wrote down because since you said about him, so the serial killer with the
Yeah, that
most
guy.
kills in the USA is Samuel Little. He died at age 80, but he confessed to 93 murders in more than a
93
dozen
murders?
states in 35
93
years. The first serial killer ever was Herman Mudgett. He was born in 1861, so 1800s. But he was considered the first known serial killer.
Where?
In New Hampshire. Or well, from New Hampshire to Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, yeah.
Oh,
So yeah.
shit.
I've seen that.
But it doesn't say how
you know
many
what?
people he killed at all.
I would have thought like Jack the Ripper would be considered the first serial killer.
Wow. Oh, 1888. So yeah, it was a little after. He was like 20 years later. Honestly, this guy could have inspired him. Never know.
Wait, Jack the Ripper was before
Jack the Ripper was 1888, and this guy was 1861 to 1896.
Oh shit.
Where he lived. So yeah, I don't know.
That's crazy. Imagine being around in like the 1800s and being a serial killer. Like you're getting away with shit.
Well, yeah, because there's
right,
no
like, there's no set law, there's no anything.
Well, not even set laws. There's no like evidence of like like DNA
patterns. Yeah.
But like
like
how
that.
do you punish? How do you
Yeah,
there was nothing like they didn't know what a serial killer was or
no, but like hear me. Let's think about this. It's 18. Let's say it's 1890, right? And you're living in these. I don't want to call them bungalows, but these villages or these towns, and there's like a fucking serial killer on the loose.
It wasn't bungalows in towns.
I know.
Think
I
about the
didn't say
1920s. There was still houses and stuff, and
this
like
is
whatever.
the 1890s. This is 30
that's
years
30
before
years
that.
earlier.
Think of
There's
like
still
castles and
houses.
shit.
Listen, there's still houses. They were just
houses.
probably more stonish and
They
like
were
stuff like
stonish.
that.
There was cobblestone. There was horse and buggy.
Yeah,
they
but
were
that's
at
what I'm
bars.
saying. It was more like that, but it was still like civilized. Like I could almost see
it's
like
Gangs of New
saloons or
York.
sheriffs.
Gangs of New
Yeah,
York.
more like
But-
that.
Okay, right.
But still,
like,
bro, like
But I
20,
could still
30
see
years
them being
before
laws
that.
to the sense of like they probably had lawmakers that like upheld certain things that were like if they did find someone that was just randomly killing people, they just went and killed that person or something like that.
I'm sure they went to jail or whatever it was. They had some type of a system.
Probably hang them.
Maybe hang
yeah,
them.
could be or
But
burn them.
here's what I'm saying. What if you were alive during that time and you get the news of there's a fucking serial killer on the loose? How crazy it's got to be to live through those times? Think about these other serial killers.
Well, even
you were
now
talking
in
about
our
before.
times.
Hang on, that's what I'm saying. Like in the 70s when the shit was going on, like Son of Sam was in 77.
The Night
What
Stalker.
if, bro, the Night Stalker, dude, our parents, well, Joe and I, because they grew up in Brooklyn, they were around when the shit was going on. How do you think this shit? I mean, Frank, I'm not sure what your parents were, but were they on the West Coast or were they here on the East Coast?
My mom was on the West Coast. My dad was on the East Coast.
All right, so I'm sure he's familiar with it. He's got to remember the time of like Son of Sam, or just to use that as an example. But how would you feel? Like, what if there was a fucking?
My dad always worked in the city. He was local 3.
Yeah, dude. So like now, what if we find out there's a serial killer?
Shout
on
out
the loose,
dad.
right? Shout
No,
out
but
dads.
yeah, honestly, like that. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, what about even now? Like, if there was a serial killer on the loose in Staten Island, what if you found out in the news there was a serial killer in Staten Island that was killing like, I don't know, 20 to 30-year-old men at the gym?
Way to be
Random-
specific,
random
you
guys-
dickbag.
Random guys coming out the gym 20 to 30 years
Fuck
old
it.
Basically, they're coming for you, Dave.
because he thought they were just like Staten Island
just
douchebags that
profiled
like
it.
just like to pump iron, and he just
Bro,
had
I
a
wish
hatred
they
for
would.
them. And
I wish he would.
I'm
Come
just
at me,
saying,
bro.
what if there was a serial killer like that? Is that how you would really feel, or would you be scared to go to the gym?
So here's the thing. This is good because I was going to ask you guys this question a little bit later. But if there was a serial killer, I would gather in groups and go find this motherfucker.
There we go.
Gather in groups. So like if you heard on the news that there was some guy that was killing random people like coming out the gym, like I said, or like whatever, you'd go call like 20 of your gym friends and be
You don't
like,
gotta
yo, we
call
gotta go
him.
kill this
Bro,
motherfucker first.
We're just at
We
the
gotta go
gym
find him.
together. And
Oh,
then
so when
we
you're
just,
in the gym, you're gonna like, yo, we
You're
all
gonna
gotta leave
jump him?
together, and when we see him, we're all gonna jump him because he ain't gonna come out of his car and see us if there's 20 of us.
we walk each other to each other's cars.
Oh, okay, so just implement the buddy system.
buddy, buddy.
Who do you?
Oh, that's great. So wait, no, real quick though, to go back, the last thing I wanted to say before with the most and this that, the serial killer with the most kills in the world, because this one I really like, 218 proven murders and as
Ooh.
many as 250 possible was Harold Shipman.
Is he Colombian? I feel like there should be a Colombian's title.
I don't have where he's from. It just says the most prolific modern serial killer is Harold Shipman with 218 proven murders and possibly as many as 250.
Oof.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Bro, just
He's
Even in
number
a
one.
lifetime. Like
50
even if it was like,
lives,
yeah,
like-
he's the most in the world. So like even if it was like in a lifetime, like even let's say like you killed for like 50 years. 250 in 50 years is a lot. Like that's a lot. That's 50 people a year. Or no, I'm sorry. That's like 5 people a year. I'm sorry. What? No,
That's
but
like 50 people a year.
it's like 5 people
Oh,
a year.
wait.
But still, that's still a lot. Like
Frank doesn't do the analytics too.
Yeah,
And
oops.
Frank is our analytics guy.
no, but like it took me a second. But no, but even if like 5 people a year, like you're killing someone every couple months for 50 years straight and never getting
That's a
caught,
lot.
like
yeah, bro, that's crazy.
I don't know. Like some of those had to be in groups. Like you had to kill some of those people like 10 at a time, or like I don't know. That's just
I don't know,
crazy to
man.
me.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
Insane.
So on a separate note, there's another question for you. Do you think movies create serial killers, or do you think serial
Yeah.
killers create movies?
They inspire.
Are they
I believe so.
Well, do they inspire each other? Is it like
yes, both.
Of course, obviously.
because I mean, think about it like this too. Now, these documents that they had the Jeffrey Dahmer one with Zac Efron. Do you think that these documents or these movies make these serial killers more likable or more, not necessarily agreeable, but more
Oh yeah,
I think that-
home-bodied?
Yeah, I think
Without
that like
a
how we
doubt.
said earlier, like the movies make you understand their side to a sense.
That's
But
just
I
based on the
believe that on the
director,
flip
though.
side, but yeah, but I believe on the flip side, like Norman Bates, don't get me wrong, I'm not 100% on this, but I'm almost positive that he was based on a true person, not someone that owned a hotel and this and that, but he was based on someone that like was a serial killer that like kept his mother or something like that and kept her remains or whatever. They stole that part from like a real. So yeah, most of
Interesting.
them
they
are
definitely glorify the shit.
Of
yeah,
course.
yes, but most of them are taking certain
Because it's-
things into like because if it's a real life thing that's happened and people are scared from it, and you yes turn it a little fiction, but give them a remembrance of something that has already happened or something to
Yeah.
where they can relate to or compare it to. There's going to be more fear in there for their movie. It creates more drama. It creates whatever. So yeah, I think that they inspire the movies 100%. But yeah, they have to the other way around, that where the movies inspire them too, because there's certain
Dude,
serial
sometimes
killers that
I'm
have
watching
like
shit
copycats
and I'm
and
like,
stuff
damn,
like that.
bro, I could do this. Like,
Yeah, but no, but I'm saying
know
there
what I
are
mean?
serial killers that have copycats that have like copycat serial
yes.
killers is a real thing.
Mhm.
Who do
Yeah.
you think they were inspired by?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it definitely works both ways.
I agree. But the question is, do you now, based on these movies or documentaries that are made, do you feel like the serial killer is more likable? Or can you
Yes.
understand where they come from?
That's
Can you relate? where
yes,
they
that's what I'm
come
saying.
from?
They
Yeah.
glorify them in all these movies and TV
But,
shows,
like,
man.
Okay.
They give
Yeah,
them
'cause
like
there's-
this backstory, like, oh, you could be a normal person, you could be nice,
Well, you
You can
want to
have a
vote for the
family
bad
and be-
guy.
right?
You,
know
you
what I
want to
mean?
you want the bad guy to win.
And I
Yeah,
feel like
guess.
it makes kids nowadays or just people and who are older, like
yes,
want
Joe.
to do that.
Kids
like, oh,
these
you
days
know?
are people that are older.
No, I'm saying like
no,
they
we know what
glorify
you're
like
saying. It was just
like
the way
young-
you said that.
the way I said it, right? It was like half
Thank you,
retarded.
Frank.
I know.
No, you were just like
I
kids
never
and then
saw.
people who are older. He's like, yep, that's what happens to them.
This is the growth process of the human being.
You
No,
get what
but
I
yeah,
meant,
you're
though.
absolutely right though.
Yeah.
No, 100%. So wait, so haunted houses.
No, that was different.
What?
That was different.
No. I'm asking you now. So like,
So
people-
I had brought up.
wait.
God, sorry.
Because people watch horror movies for the scare, the fear, right? This and that.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I was bringing up haunted houses is not because of serial killers and like this and that, but
Okay.
like people go there for the fear of a real life experience of being in that type of situation. Like you go to a haunted house, there's a guy running around with a chainsaw or chasing you like this and that, like blah, blah, blah.
You're gonna be scared.
But no, I'm just saying, to me, that's also a crazy concept. And don't get me wrong, I've always gone to haunted houses and like this and that. But the people to come up with that, that's such a crazy concept to me too, because again, that's another way to just put yourself into the serial killer's shoes. But now the scary side,
haunted
rather than
house?
understanding them or like whatever, you're putting yourself in the victim's like fear and like feeling of that side of it. You know what I mean?
I don't really follow you too much.
If you go to a haunted house, somebody's chasing you with a chainsaw, you're making yourself the victim in a scary movie.
Okay.
You're putting yourself in that to feel their fear rather than
Of the
feeling what the
victim,
director
of the
meant
victim.
of the killer side. Yeah, you're gonna feel the victim side.
I see it. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily a serial killer though. Maybe just
Oh
being,
no, I'm not saying it's a serial killer,
but just being the
I'm saying
victim in that. Okay.
yeah, you because a victim isn't part of the whole serial killer. They're just one in the whole thing. You know what I mean? But like, I'm just saying, going there is something on the opposite side. We were talking about relating to a serial killer and being on that side. Whereas that's something that's out there that you can be on the flip side of relating to
Figure it
the
out.
victim or the other side.
Okay. I can see
True.
that. I mean, I fucking love haunted houses, to be honest with you.
I don't hate them. I was just
Big
making a
haunted
point.
house guy, man.
I fucking love it. Honestly, dude, I've thought about this already. If I ever win when I win the lotto and I get millions and millions of dollars, I'm gonna make the sickest haunted house in all of October. And I
Bro.
want you guys to be there.
Do
And
you
Joe-
remember when we
Joe be one of
made
the-
our haunted house?
Yes,
made a haunted
yes, I
house?
do, Joe.
What?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. It was Halloween 2015 or maybe 14, and I'm at Joe's house, and I'm like looking at his house.
We were just
And-
standing out front,
and I was like,
late at
yo,
night.
I would fucking hook this house up as a
And
haunted
Danny
house.
created this
Yo.
whole haunted house, bro. It was nuts.
Crazy theme. Crazy theme.
We were out there for like an hour and a half, like
Dude.
blown away, looking at nothing, just imagining it.
imagining shit, but it's I'm telling you, I would hook it up for show.
Oh, show.
Can I be one of the people that scares people in your haunted
Oh,
house
you're gonna
when
be
you
a
make it?
victim.
Yeah,
be a victim?
definitely.
So I just get to be a customer and come and get scared for 5 minutes.
I watched
You know
the
who's going to be a
clubs.
victim on August 15th is you.
Shit. Somebody call the coroner for this guy.
Oh,
I'm so excited. For those of you who are joining us, Frank and I will be beating the crap out of each other on August 15th. I guess you could say.
it'll be live.
Frank challenged me to a fight. I accepted, and
It was kind of a mutual thing.
you're right. I just wanted to. I want to be. I don't know. Do you want to be the challenger or the challenger?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm honestly. I'll put this out there too. Any of our listeners, because I've been like talking to people on TikTok and that. I'm looking for a second fight after Danny now. I
You're
am.
gonna wake up like 3 weeks later, bro. You might want to postpone that.
Okay, whatever.
Frank's
We'll
going
see.
for his amateur card right now.
No, not even. But like, yo, if Jake Paul and Mayweather can make like, I know it's only because Mayweather's name was on it, but now you got on the 12th these YouTubers,
Frank,
Austin
don't
McBroom, and
be
this
a
and that, blah blah
podcast
blah.
boxer,
They're
bro.
making like $300,000 on this fight. I'm like, blah blah. Bro, I'll go fight some D-list TikToker and make 50,000. I don't care, but give me some money.
Bro, I'm just gonna make you cry. I don't even care about the money.
Okay.
Good luck.
I got a weird question. I want
Danny,
to stir the pot.
Can we make
Totally
a bet? I
unrelated
would say,
to
can
your
we make a
guys'
bet on this?
fucking
Because
fight.
if I win, I want to be able to
Oh
cut your
my
man bun
God.
off with scissors.
Oh,
discuss
that's
that another
actually
time.
genius.
We'll
I want
discuss
to cut
that
your
another
man bun
time.
off with scissors, and you
We'll
can come up
dis-
with something for me if you want.
What's a
We
good
will
thing
discuss
for you?
terms
for him
and
to do
conditions
you?
at another time.
Oh, okay, because that's off the table. He's never because he knows
100%
I
off
could
the
win.
table.
TBD.
Because he knows I could win, and he doesn't want me to cut his man bun off.
given the fact that I accidentally blink in this fight and you hook me in the fucking jaw and I go down, I'm not cutting my bun off.
So come up with something equal.
Joe, what was your question?
Oh, bro. If you had to take a guess, who would you
Green.
think that you know would be a serial killer that you wouldn't suspect actually?
Ooh, that's a good question. Getting back.
If I had to pick like a friend of mine,
It doesn't have to
Anybody.
be a friend. It
Like
can be an acquaintance.
if you had to like really think about it, like think about this person.
okay, I got like
who
6
do you
people running through
think
my head
would
throughout my
most
lifetime.
likely be a serial killer?
Do you have someone in mind?
Me?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I do have somebody in mind.
I can't say the name of the person that I have. In
Person
mind.
sleeping on my couch right now, I think, is a psychopathic serial killer.
See, honestly, I feel like
Even if she's not, I picture it.
She'll get
Karen
away with
is
murder,
too,
bro.
like,
If you
Karen
ever go
tries-
missing, I know where to go.
Karen like tries to act tough, but she really is just so soft. Like she
Don't
just
let
has like a
Karen hear
Napoleon
that, bro.
complex.
She's gonna whip
Nah,
your ass
she
right
is.
now.
She is just so soft. She just like has like that Napoleon complex. I love her so much, but she tries to act hard. I just don't see it at all. I don't think she could ever do it. I don't think she can kill someone. Me, she could kill me in my sleep probably, but I don't think she can ever kill anybody else.
Oh my
But,
god! Yeah, who else she killing?
But that's funny that that's where you went with that.
Yeah, bro, for real. That's first. My second person is definitely my father. I think he already has a body count,
I
but
can
who
see
knows?
that.
You know what I mean?
For my dad, I can see that. I can see that for my dad. No, but honestly, when you said that, I was
love him.
thinking of
He's
someone in
crazy.
particular, but like I just don't want to say
crazy.
the name because it would just bring up way too much drama. So I just
Okay,
Well,
so
that's why I
there's
said I'm going to
this
stir the pot a little bit because
So
some
I
people
know,
might
but
get
like-
offended to your
No, I know what I'm
answer,
saying,
but
I
it's
can't
just
name-
it's
I don't want to
funny.
name
It's
drop that. It's more of like an acquaintance.
coincidence, you know,
It's more of like an
hypothetical.
acquaintance. It's not like somebody that's like that close to me, especially in like recent, like so. But even
All
if
right,
it
well,
really
if
was
you're not
her-
gonna say it, then don't give hints about it.
Frank's
Well,
like,
that's
yeah, the
not
guy that
major of a
works on the
hint. There's
line with me
millions
at
of- that's what I'm
work.
saying. There's millions of people that used to be close with me that aren't anymore. But no, I'm just saying, like, I couldn't name drop because it'd just be too awkward. That's
you're
too
not
much stirring
fun,
the
man.
pot. Yeah, I can't.
Pussy. Frank's
day.
a bitch.
All day.
So there's this kid that I went
Wait,
to
Danny,
high school with.
Oh, okay, you're getting into it. I thought you were trying to evade the
No.
answer.
There's this kid I went to high school with, and I'm not gonna name names, but he
So
was socially awkward. He was
Don't
socially
stir the
awkward.
pot for a
Bro,
reason.
are you kidding me? That's personal shit.
Okay, go ahead, go.
He was socially awkward. He was cool. I was civil with him. We didn't like sit together at lunch and shit, but I'd see him and I'd be amicable, you know. But I always felt that I was like, yo, if anything ever fucking happens, it's gonna be this kid. And it's a trippy situation because when you're in like junior high or high school and you're seeing this, and then you get like, oh shit, there was a fucking shooting a couple years ago or something like that. And who knows what the fuck goes on in people's heads? That's where it's like for a serial killer can have these thoughts, but then it grows into that where it's like, you know what? I'm not going to shoot the whole school. I'm going to hone in on specific people and kill them. Or that's where they get their anger or their rage or their revenge from. You know what I mean?
It's almost like in the, what was that? Billy Madison. He's like, I'm glad I called that guy.
Yeah. Steve Buscemi put a lipstick on.
That's exactly what it is, you know? I mean,
So
and I know that
that's-
was a comedy, but that's exactly what you're talking about.
It's exactly what I'm talking about. It's crazy shit, man. I don't know. Do you feel like, all right, here's another crazy question. Do you think you've ever been walking and have come across somebody that's already killed somebody?
Yes,
Absolutely.
I think about
Yeah.
that all the time when I'm in the city and I walk by freaking 1,000 people.
Just the
I'm like, damn,
odds.
this guy
like,
probably
yes.
killed somebody.
Just the odds of it.
No.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah. Think about it. How old are you? 30 something. How many people have you met in the 30 years that you've been alive? And not even saying just like met in the sense of like that you had to know them for like a while, but could have been met for like 2 minutes or like whatever, and then forgot about that person or like
Yeah.
passed by them on the subway or
Had a slice of
something like
pizza,
that.
shared a fucking ledge
Yeah,
on a
whatever.
pizzeria.
They were next in line. You were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir." Like whatever. Any one of those people, just the pure odds of it, absolutely one of them could have been one. 100%.
So now
Yeah, definitely.
to piggyback on that, do you think you were ever a possible victim of something like that?
Again, yes,
Do
absolutely.
you know? But like, just because you
What?
meet someone like Jeffrey Dahmer was the sweetest kid ever, but he was a fucking psychopath. So do you think like you've like you're online
Anyone is a
at a
victim, so
pizzeria
absolutely.
and I'm hungry. I don't know why I brought up pizza twice in the past minute, but you're in pizzeria and you let this guy go ahead of you or this girl go ahead of you, and they're like, you know what? Thanks, bro. I'm not gonna kill you now. How fucked up of
I
a
really believe
situation is
that shit has happened multiple times in many
To
people's
you?
lives.
To you?
Absolutely. Anyone
To
is
me
a
too.
victim,
Yeah,
man,
I
because they
think
could change their
somewhere
mind.
across the line, I might have came across somebody. I've just been, like
They could have even
especially
wanted
in
to
the
do it and
city,
then just
man.
change their
I mean,
mind.
yeah, you never know.
That's
I mean,
crazy
like that's what I
shit.
mean. Like it's anyone is a victim at any point. If for someone like
I
that,
wouldn't put
being
it
around
past
them,
nobody.
it doesn't matter
anymore.
who you are.
Yeah.
You know, like
That's wild, dude.
Like exactly. Like think of some of the killers that we were talking about. Like you're talking about, I forget her name, but the one from Monster, or John Gacy,
Eileen Warner,
or but Charles Manson. Like exactly, these were all people that were around all these regular people and had mass thing. Anyone could have been a victim to them. Anyone,
Yeah.
whoever pissed them off that day, whoever, whatever. Like you know what I mean? That's just who it was. Like
That's pretty true. Shit fucks me up, man.
because again, they all have that personality trait that like I was talking about earlier. That what you call it, neuropsychotic disorder, psychiatric disorder.
What do you mean? Say that again.
They all or most of them have that neuropsychiatric disorder.
Oh,
that's
okay.
like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
deficient emotional response and like all that stuff. So that's
Based
why,
on
you know what I mean?
traumas and shit
Bro,
like that
any
too. Yeah,
serial
for sure.
killer
Exactly.
is just crazy, bro.
and that just
definitely
makes
got
sense,
some
too.
type of psychological problem.
And that just makes sense too, because if you were someone that was like traumatized your whole life or had a lot of trauma done to you and like whatever, and like yeah, you would lack empathy. Why would you care about somebody else's things when all you've seen is just nothing but pain and suffering and viciousness?
That's
and,
all you
know
know.
what I mean?
That's all you
exactly.
know.
That's all you ever know and were taught or brought up to or whatever.
So here's a good one. Since we're on the fact of serial killers, let's get into these movies real quick. Growing up, I fucking loved Scream. That was probably my top. I would say that and Michael Myers are probably my top horror films, right?
That's a good one to bring up right off the bat, just because they talk about like
They
what does he
do.
say?
Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
That's it.
Billy Loomis.
Yep.
Yes.
It's true. It's true.
That-
That's a true quote.
Yeah, bro, that's some crazy shit. And fucking my sister was obsessed with that movie. Still is. But
Shout out to Deb, because I heard her earlier say to make sure that you said that in the episode, so I was making sure you said it right there.
Of course,
Love
man.
you, Deb.
You know I look out for my sis. What's up, Deb? Hashtag sister. So that's a very good, I guess, statement, because we get a lot of great movies from serial killers, whereas serial killers are everyday people watching these movies. Or like Joe was saying before, like what if a serial killer is watching Dexter? He's like, oh shit, that's a good fucking idea. Instead of 2 or 3 cups of lime and fucking this, I should use this. It's like it fucks with their head. And they're like, oh, maybe I can do that. I'm a big fan of that like genre of horror movies when it comes to like the serial killer thing, where it's a repeat or like a stalker type of shit. Pretty cool. I don't know. That shit caught my interest.
No, absolutely. I didn't know that too. Like Silence of the Lambs was one that was like, I didn't know that was ever based on a real thing either.
Yeah.
But that's one
Silence
that
of the
was,
Lambs.
yeah, I always thought that was just like a regular like fictional, like just like Halloween or whatever. But that was one that was based on a real serial killer too.
Real shit. Real shit.
Real shit.
Joe, do you think you would survive a serial killer movie?
Oh, like
I
you do the
think
last
I
one.
would
Yeah.
survive a serial killer movie.
Oh, I
Yeah.
gotta go on off of that. If the
Well,
three of us
let
were in
him-
a
What do you
serial
mean
killer
if I
movie,
was
who
in
would
the
die
movie
first
or
and
just
last?
watching the movie?
No, like if you were in the movie, you were like a character in the movie. Do you think you would make it to the end?
I feel pretty confident that I would be able to maneuver my way to the end.
Fuck out of here,
Yeah?
Joe. You're already missing 3 toes. You have the disadvantage.
Still going though, but that's my point.
Is this Joe pre 3 toes or post?
This
3
is
toes?
Joe full
Bro,
strength.
post and pre toes.
Yeah,
I'm
you
good.
don't think it matters?
I don't think it matters. I'm on the
So-
move, man.
I'm on the move, he said.
He'll fucking
So wait,
he'll
how
deke
about
him
this?
out. Like what? Which way?
3 of us are in that situation. Who dies first? Who makes it to the end? Who?
Oh, out of us three in the movie together, I'm making it to the end.
Only you, me, and Danny both die.
Danny's gonna die first. Frank, it's gonna be me and you next. Frank
How
will
do I
make
go?
a mistake.
How do
Frank
I
will
go?
make a
Die
mistake
first, and I'm
die.
gonna sacrifice so Joe could live. I'm gonna be
Right.
the sacrifice. Okay, all right, I'm cool
So
with that.
Joe's the,
At
so
least we know
Frank's the
Danny's the
sacrifice.
weakling.
I'm still gonna
So
get
what
murdered, but I'll
happens?
make it to the end.
So what happens to me? How do I go? I'm not the dumb one. I'm telling you right now.
Well, I was
It's
gonna
not-
say the dumb one usually goes first. Bro.
like, hello, Billy. I'm gonna take off my clothes and take a shower now, okay? And then the fucking serial killer comes out of nowhere while you're in a camp and you're fucking.
I'm not gonna lie. I do feel like if we were in like a house together and like a serial killer was trying to break in, like me and Joe would go to find the furthest way away from him to run away, and Danny would go to like look for something to hit him with. Like that's just I don't know. I feel like he'd be the chick that like ran into the room that was like the dead end, and we'd be like, "I'm out later."
So would I be? Oh man, all right.
That's where I was
gonna
going.
say,
He said
so
like the
what
dumb one. Like I feel like yeah, you probably run into like a room to look for something like not thinking about. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I could see you being the first one to go too.
Well, I hope we're never in that fucking situation because I
Yeah,
have
me
all the
neither.
confidence in two of you guys. Thank you so
Why,
much.
Danny? Where do you think you would be, bro?
Okay, besides the fact of me just being plain out faster than both of you guys. So
Okay, it's not
whatever
always
the
about
way-
being quicker.
Whatever direction we're going, if we're running towards, like if we're in a cornfield and we're running towards the road, I'm gonna get there before you guys.
I'll beat you in a foot race.
I'll beat you in a boxing ring, but that's not the point.
I can't.
What I'm trying to get at is, I really feel like I would be the one to make it to the end.
Yeah.
Just
I feel
based
like
on
everyone feels that way though.
you know what? And I was gonna say, just based on me knowing me and like where I would go, what I would do, how I would think, you guys all feel the same way. Let's be real. Joe's gonna make it to the end.
I think the reason that we all feel that way is because if everything went the way that you wanted it to go and how you're thinking, then
Joe's
yeah,
gonna make
everyone
it?
would make it. But whoever doesn't make it is the one person that like
You done fucked up.
yeah, like
You done
or not
fucked
even
up.
that. Like you thinking you're going this way and like, oh, I'm gonna make it out this way. I'm gonna do this, and this is the perfect plan. And then all of a sudden you turn the corner and boom, the guy you were running away from is like right there with a knife and slice your head off, and you're like, fuck, I'm
See,
fucked up.
that would
Like, it
be a
doesn't
situation that I would run into. I wouldn't be the dumb one running into a room where there's no windows or fucking closets.
Oh,
I
so
would
you'd
be
be
the
like
one
Busta Rhymes in Halloween H2O
where I'm like running out
in the
somewhere and I don't
room
know
on
where he
flames,
is.
and then all of a sudden he comes through the doorway, and that was your only way out, and you're like, fuck. And he sliced your head off.
I don't know, bro. I haven't seen that shit in a
Really?
fucking minute. I know which one you're talking about, though. H2O.
Bro, he like gets into the fight.
Not
with him,
H2O,
like-
the one after H2O, Halloween Resurrection.
or
Yeah, it was
Resurrection.
good.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
he
it.
gets tangled in the fucking. Yeah, I know. I remember it, but not fucking vaguely.
Such
But
a-
no, if it was a Michael Myers shit, that motherfucker doesn't run. I just gotta run faster than him or than both of you.
Honestly, I don't think that works though, especially when you're talking about them, because in those movies, everyone was running and no one got away.
It's because they were staying in the fucking house for some reason. Wasn't it
all of
locked
them.
or some shit? Bro, I'd be out.
Not
I'd be
all of them.
out. You kidding me? I call 911 from the
there was
corner
some
with my
no,
eyes
because the
on
one
the
Halloween, the
motherfucking
girl
house.
was
I'm
like
yeah,
running
no, I
across
see
the
him.
street to the neighbor's
Top
house
floor,
with the
second
kids.
bedroom.
No, because the one new one, when they redid it with Jamie Lee Curtis, the one babysitter was running across the street with the kids to the other house and stuff. So they're not always in the same house running away and stuff. Like they definitely
But why are you
run
staying on
away.
the block? Call a cab, Uber from 10 minutes ago.
Oh, a cab. Oh my god, you're funny.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just me. That's me and serial killers, dude.
Danny thinks that he would outlast us because he would call a cab, Joe.
Yeah, okay.
He'd call a cab to leave the block. That's why Danny would last longer than us.
Oh, listen. If
You're
we're
fucking
chill,
lying.
let's say we're in a mansion somewhere and there's a fucking serial killer on the loose and we hear the shit on the news. I'm already got the Uber out front, bro, in 10 minutes.
You
But
sure?
my-
Because you
but
might
see,
switch to
this
your
is-
porn again
No,
and
no,
be
no,
like,
check it. This is where I would fuck up. I would wait for the cab. I would get in the cab. The guy's throat would be slit, and the
Oh my God.
the serial killer would be in the trunk and just fucking grab me. That's what would happen to me. That's how
You
I
know
would
what
do
that
it.
sounded like? And this is one that we did not cover in the last episode. And I can't believe we didn't talk about this movie because it's such a good horror movie. Do you know where I'm going?
Legend.
No. I'm gonna get.
I know what you did last summer.
Yup. How did you get that? I love that you just picked that up.
Hell yeah!
I can't believe we didn't talk about that. That was
was some
another
good
one that
shit.
was a good, scary movie.
Yo, That was.
I didn't like that movie, and maybe I haven't seen it
maybe
in a very long time.
you should just mute your mic for the next 12 seconds.
I love.
Yo, that was a good one. That one and Scream were two of my favorite serial killer. Well, movies, not characters.
That was a very good jumping
I liked
movie.
it.
Like
Yeah,
when he came out of the shower, like there was so many when they
the
were on
ice
the boat.
pick. Yeah.
So many good scenes in that movie. Absolutely.
That's a good one.
I had to bring that up because it just came into my head.
Hell yeah.
But is that it? Are we about done?
Joe, you got anything else to say about serial killers?
I'm good, man. I'm happy with the stuff we talked about.
I got another question, actually. This is one thing I wanted to bring up before. We might have touched it, actually. The death penalty. When is it appropriate and when is it not appropriate? Let me start with this. Would you vote for the death penalty to be legal?
I would vote for it to be legal, but
what's right there? Joe, what do you think?
I think, listen, I'm not against it. I wouldn't vote for it to be.
It's legal or illegal, one or the other. You have to. Gun to your head. Oprah, Barbara Walters.
Oh, yeah, I would go with legal, man. There's some serious shitty things people do that they deserve to just fucking.
We all agree that the death penalty should be legal. Do you think it should be used on everyday people, rapists, child molesters, or like serial killers? Like, what's the extent?
It depends on the crime. Specifically just the crime. I think it depends on how many times that crime was committed.
Okay, yeah.
So reoccurring for that crime and stuff like that.
Okay.
Right.
A repeat offender.
Compared to the severity of the crime. And then after that, I mean, every criminal with stuff like that, especially like in big murders and like stuff like that, or big like rapists or this, they all have like psychiatric evaluation and like they all, where they go for parole and stuff like that, like they see if they're really sorry or rehabilitated or like this, that. Based on that, obviously, too, and those inputs to see if they were empathetic,
mentally ill.
If they were, what's the word I'm looking for? Remorseful or stuff like that. To whereas, if they were someone that really truly did want to better themselves, maybe not. Not saying they should be let out, but maybe not the death penalty. But for someone that was like a Charles Manson, yeah, he deserved to just go.
So you think like Arlene Wuornos did not deserve the death penalty?
No, I think for her in specific, it was someone that had something traumatic happen to her. She deserved therapy. She should have still been in jail, but she should deserve therapy. She didn't deserve to get the death penalty. Someone like her, that was like, you know what I mean? Because perfect. Have you ever seen the show How to Get Away with Murder?
I wrote the book.
Okay, but no. So great show. It's about this lady named Annalise Keating and like how all her ties with all these people in her life, like basically like she wants to help them. So some different people in the show like commit murder and she's basically helped them all get away with it. And it's basically like I forgot what I was saying before this now. But what I was saying that got me into it ties into the show and it's like a perfect example.
Okay. Check it out. What's it called?
How to Get Away with Murder.
How to Get Away with Murder. All right. I think I've heard of that before. I know a lot of females that watch shit like that. And they're like, yeah, no, I know how to kill you. You ain't going home, motherfucker. I'm like, oh, all right. Shit. Next drink's on me.
That's funny.
So yeah, I mean, that's that.
Well, again, as always, everybody, thank you for the follows, the subscribes.
Yes, thank you. I hope you're enjoying
likes and shares. Yeah, we appreciate you listening. We appreciate your feedback, your comments. If you guys ever want to hear us bullshit about nothing but be specialists about it, throw it at us.
Well, let's just not give us a topic.
We got topics for days, but I'd love to hear.
I mean, I'll always change a topic to do something that somebody else specifically wants to hear. I mean, we knew that people wanted to hear Illuminati and like that people were like the conspiracy theories and stuff like that. We know that you're all listening. So throw a comment,
wherever you're listening from. You got the Facebook page, you got the YouTube channels. It's fun to hear what you guys have to say because I get texts from all my friends from all over, and I'm like, yo, that's awesome. I'm so happy that you guys love and listen to it and shit. And then it's like, shout out to everyone. We'll just go like that. Shout out to everyone.
Absolutely, man.
Danny, you want to give everybody that special website again that you mentioned that we got a little clip of before we go?
It's on Netflix. It's called Kim's Convenience. It was a trailer. All right. Check it out.
Can I just say that he, for seeing it for only 2 seconds, he really knows that the title is called Kim's Convenience. So I'm not doubting that wasn't right the title of the porn that he was watching.
Motherfucker. Look, go on. I'm telling you. I'll play it again right
Kim's
now.
Convenience.
I'm
Is
not
that
gonna
what
play
they
it.
called?
We're good,
Kim
we're good, we're good, we're
Kardashian
good.
sex tape? Is that what that was called?
I'm out.
We want
Ladies and
everybody to
gentlemen,
leave here with a
Thank you so
positive-
much for listening. Listen, nothing. Oh, fuck you.
See you guys.